this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments, and I am bringing you a project recipe for a collection that came out in 2020. And I actually haven't done much with this collection, which I thought I would, but I just haven't. I haven't had the right photos to need it, so I'm excited to get to work with it today. It's called S'more Memories, and it came out in 2020, as I said. Let's check out my workspace and we'll get started. It's really cute. You're gonna love it. All right, so this is my workspace for the S'more Memories project recipe, and you can see here is a great example of the completed project recipe. This collection has some really cute stickers, so we're going to use a few of those to make some clusters when we get that far. But until we get that far, we will work on the rest of it. Sorry, I think I just poked my finger and it hurts. You might recall the campfire punch. So again, this came out in 2020, so a couple years ago. But if you have the campfire punch, pull this out because this layout uses it. If you don't have the campfire punch, you could design your own. Just make some flames and a couple of crisscrossing logs, and you'd be in business. I'm not sure what else you could use to create something similar to this, but if you just, fiddle with your paper, maybe you can come up with something that's close if you don't have that. Or you don't have to use that at all. You could use just a tree or something, something else, some other kind of decorative punch that you have. You can see it's used in 3 different places, and so use it or don't use it. That's completely up to you. So I have, from the collection, I have this sort of stardust blue that we're going to use as our base. I have a stardust in black that we're going to use for a portion of this. I have the red gingham, and I have a piece of red cardstock. Then I also have this sheet. This is a cut apart that's also a part of this collection, and it has some really cool things on it, so I think we may cut some of these out to use on the layout, but we'll see when we get that far. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and put my base sheets and that cut apart off to the side for right now. These are the 3 sheets we're going to cut, so let's go ahead and switch over to our cutting guide, and I will grab my trimmer, which is off here to the side, and we'll get started with this star paper, which is going to be my designer paper number 1. This has graham crackers on the back in case you're interested, and I'm going to go ahead and use this to represent this green designer paper field right here. We're going to need 2 strips that are 4 by 12, and then the remaining 4-inch strip is cut in half for 2 mats. So that's super easy. We can do that, can't we? So we're just going to measure a 4-inch strip. Our paper is already 12 inches, so we're just going to measure 4 inches and cut and set that aside. We're going to measure 4 more inches and cut and set that aside. And then we're going to take this last piece and we're going to turn it, and we're going to cut it at 6 inches. Okay, so these are mats. I'm going to set those up here in front. Then I'm going to grab my gingham paper that's down here. We're going to cut a strip that's 3 inches from this. So 3 inches. There we go. Then we're going to take this 3-inch strip and we're going to turn it and cut 3 3-inch squares. Essentially, you're going to get 4 3-inch squares, but we're probably only going to use 3 of them. So that that leaves you with an extra square you can use. There we go. Then we're going to take the remaining portion of this paper and we're going to cut a 6.5 piece. So I'm going to put my arm out here so I can find 6.5 a little easier rather than just guessing. That piece is extra. Then we're going to turn this and we're going to cut 2 at 4.5. So 6.5 by 4.5, and if you're lucky enough to have one of the CM trimmers, you'll see you have a bold corner right there that indicates right where that 4.5 by 6.5 mark is. That's just to, again, assist you in making this process a little bit faster. Okay, so those are also mats. They're going to go up there. These I'm going to set right there. We've got one more to cut. This piece of red cardstock is going to be represented by the peach field down here in our cutting guide, paper number 3. We're going to need 2 3/4 inch strips. So I'm going to use, again, the longer shoulder to balance my paper and make sure it stays straight. I'm going to do 2 3/4 inch strips. Then we're going to move the arm out again. We're going to do a piece that is a piece that is 6 1/4, not 6.5, but 6 1/4. And we're going to turn this and cut 2 at 4 1/4. So 4 1/4. And save this piece because that's one we are going to use to punch our fire with. And this remaining piece of our cardstock should be let's see, it's a little bit over, mine's a little over 4 1/4. Should be right about 4 1/4 for you. So I'm just going to trim mine up just to bring it into spec. Then we're going to turn it and we're going to cut it at 6 1/4. So you end up with 3 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 mats. And then this piece is just extra. All right, so that is everything that we need to cut with our trimmer. So I'm going to set my trimmer back over here. Then I'm going to grab this piece of cardstock and we're going to punch some shapes with our campfire punch. And you can see, as I pointed out before, there are 3 campfires that are represented here. So let's go ahead and cut out our campfires. It's been a bit since I've used this punch. Actually, I think the last time I used it, I used some glitter paper with it to create the fire, and I made the fire 3 different colors, which was kind of fun. Maybe I can find that and show you. All right, so there's our 3 campfires with our campfire logs. I'm just getting rid of that here real quick. So here's the campfires that I punched and created. I just basically I punched them out of 3 different colors, and then I cut different pieces of the flame apart and then adhered them together. So it makes for kind of a cute little fire. Maybe we'll keep those out here, just in case we decide we need those. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get these assembled. I think we are ready to go. All right, so we're gonna grab my blue paper up here and rearrange this just a little bit. These pieces are extra, so we'll move those. Move our fire up here to the corner. So we'll get to that eventually, but not right this second. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and take these red strips, the 3/4 inch strips we made with our red cardstock. They're going to go across the bottom, right on the edge. Just like that. Okay, now we can use one of our border strips if we want to, but let's see. I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun. Let's go ahead and adhere our Starry Night. That's going to go right above the red strip. Cute graham cracker paper as well. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead and get these stars added onto the side here. There we go. All right. So now we can use one of our border stickers, and we've got these cute ones that have all these s'mores, or we've got kind of a garland, pine garland kind of thing that we could go across there with. I think I'm going to go with the s'mores, because after all, that is what this layout is for, right? So we're going to just go ahead and take this 12-inch sticker, and it's going to go right across this seam on the bottom, about halfway up. And grab the other one. Make sure your marshmallows are towards the bottom. And we're just gonna right across the middle of that seam. Just like that. Okay, now let's get these other mats put down. So we've got one mat that goes here, another red mat that goes here. Maybe a little closer. Like so. We've got a gingham mat that's going to go here. Another one that's going to go over here. Another red mat that's going to go over here. And then we have got, they use the black stars, or the paper that you use for, that you cut for this strip, is a double mat for those photos right there. Okay, then we take these 3 squares. Okay, and they go offset down here. And you offset them with a photo that is 3 by 3. So you have a photo here, a photo here, a photo here that are all 3 by 3. Let me see if I can find my templates to be able to show that to you. These are 3.5. That's a little too big. Here we go. Here's 3. So you put a little 3-inch photo there and there. And there. Because that was 3 inches, not, yeah, 3 by 3. Phone. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know that I don't usually put my put my mats down with permanent adhesive, but I'm going to go ahead and do that on this one because it's not likely that I'm going to want to move this stuff around. So we're going to just go ahead and get these adhered. Finn, are you barking? Finn is a cute little cavapoo. No, he's not a cavapoo. He is a Burma poo? Oh, Michael just brought me my CM boxes. Thank you. Set it down there for me. Thanks, buddy.
All of these.
I suppose bringing me my product entitles you to a treat.
I suppose.
Thank you, sweetheart.
No problem.
All right. My boys are good to me. They help me out. Okay, so here's our 2 photos and our mats. And let's do this side. So these I'm giving a good 1/2 inch from the border edge of my paper, edge of my page. And I want to stay consistent with that. So I want this page, I want both pages to have the same border is what I'm trying to say. Same border around the edge. And there's a healthy 3/4 inch, maybe more like 3/8 inch space between these photos over here. So that's what I use between these photos over here. Photo mats. Okay, then we're gonna center this. Look at this. This is gonna be at the same level as the red mats. And we've got one more to go. And this one's going to overlap just a smidge on this other mat here. We've got this photo that can go right there. All right, so now we need to decide on our fire. Do we want to use some of our miscellaneous flames? Some of the flames I built, or should we use the red ones? I think I'm going to use the miscellaneous ones, and I used just bronze shimmer paper to make the logs, and I'm putting them upside down, which is probably not helpful. I'm gonna put the logs about 1/4 of an inch up from the edge of that. The gingham paper, 1/4 of an inch up from the gingham paper, roughly. There we go. And then I'm gonna grab my foam squares and just pop up the flames just a little bit, I think, to just add to their impact. And when I put the flames on here, you'll notice on the punch, the flame and the logs have a significant space between. And on the example here, they left that space. But I think I like it better when the flame is closer to the logs. So, you know, it's all in your opinion, completely subjective. So do what you feel is right. But I'm adding my flames just a little bit closer to those logs. Okay, so now we need some embellishments, just a couple. You can see from the sample here that they've got an embellishment down here below the photo. They've got one up here near what could be a journal box, which we don't have, but we could add a journal box. And then they've got one up here, kind of over the top of this. And I just noticed also, they do not have, so this photo and this photo are at the same level, but they are not even with these two center ones. So maybe we ought to change that. Fix that. I'm going to move these pieces because they are not glued down, those little templates. And let me adjust these just a little bit while I still can. Just pop those off just a little and move them down about 1 inch from the top. We'll do the same thing with this one. Come on. All right. This one is going to be a little tricky because I already stuck this down and I have adhesive that does not, or that did not want to come off. So let's see if that's far enough. You know, sometimes you go back to remove something and it just pops right off and it's not a problem. And other times your adhesive all stays right there and you just kind of go, not really what I planned, but we can work with it. It'll be okay. So I'm just going to put my paper just barely covering that little bit of adhesive that wouldn't come up right there. And same thing here with this one, because I've got adhesive down here in this corner that's not wanting to play nice. So, not a problem. We can, there's always a workaround, you know? Always a workaround. All right, so there, those are in better spots now. And we need to see about this journal box. So let's see, I've got this paper we could use, which that would probably work. I could write over the top of those matches to journal, and that would not be too big of a problem. So let me go ahead and trim this a little bit. I'm going to make this journal box 5 inches. And let's see. Well, maybe make it 2. 5 by 2. By 2, and I can tuck it up underneath there, I think. All right, the other thing we were going to do, which I didn't, is go ahead and cut a couple of these, which I thought would be cute. Specifically this quote down here by John Muir. So I'm just going to set it in my trimmer. I'm going to watch the marker here on the side of my housing, so that tells me where my blade starts. I'm going to line that up with the line where the cut apart starts. And we can put that maybe in one of our mats. I think that would be cute. Anything else here? We could also do There's Nothing I Love More Than Camping Under the Stars. I'm thinking of my daughter who is on her way right this minute back from Yellowstone with a group of friends, and they went and camped. So maybe we should do this one instead. All right. So let's see here. We got a lot going on my desktop right here. Let me just move a few things so that we can see a little bit better what we're working with. All right. So first of all, we need to get this put down. And I'm gonna just lift this up again so that I can slide that under and center it. Just like that. that. Okay. Now, we could put that right there. Let's find some other fun embellishments we could use. Oh, excuse me. I like this Starry Nights sticker since we've got all the stars represented on this page. Of course, these will get covered up because photos will go on top of there, but I still think that that would be a nice one to put right here. And we could add in or do we want to put that somewhere else? Like maybe over here, except with that right there, maybe we don't want it. Maybe we don't want that right there. Maybe we want that over here. Then we could put this right here. Then we could add some more to it, and this cute little yum. If I can get it off the sticker sheet. Hold on a second. I still have that little tiny there. Okay, so I want my, oh, come here. Foam squares were retreating out the back of my little thing. Not good. All right, we're just gonna pop this up with some foam squares. Kind of set it off to the side here just a little, like so. Maybe we ought to, I think that interferes with the border a little too much down there. We could put it there. I'm gonna pop up the s'more, but not pop up the yum. I wonder if that will work. I guess we'll try it, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna just put down this little, oh, there's nothing I love s'more than camping under the stars. And then we'll add this little guy. And we've got Starry Nights. I'm not really seeing anything I can add to Starry Nights. That's kind of odd, huh? add some of this. Maybe. Stick that branch underneath there. And maybe one of these cute little, we'll use a yellow heart. And my smaller foam squares. I'm just kind of using that to stick my stickers to each other. All right, so we've got embellishments here and here. I probably should have something down in this area, but I'm not sure. Should we say worth all the bugs? Worth all the bugs. I don't know about that. But maybe. Maybe worth all the bugs. I'll use this guy. Do like that. Maybe. I'm gonna tuck that guy right underneath that flame, and come on, I want to adjust you. There we go. Now we can still put our picture in there, just like that. All right, so here are our 3x3 pictures we're going to add later. What do we think? I think this is a very cute layout. I love the papers, I love the theme, and hopefully I'll have some cute pictures when my daughter comes home from her camp out that we can add to this layout and put in her album. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have many more creative moments. Have a great day.